Welcome to the Father Knowts podcast, and I am your host, Warren W. Patten Jr., or you can call me Father Patten. Father Knowts is an informational style podcast created to give fathers a voice in their family structure. I encourage fathers to take back fatherhood and shake the trees of tradition to create a stronger family unit. We'll also delve into men's health, leadership, mentorship, and so much more. Okay, men, it's time to be a better father on purpose. Hello again. Hello, fathers. Father Patten here again with the Father Knowts podcast, episode number 12. Hey, I'm wearing my headset this time, my microphones, so I can really feel the Father Knowts podcast right along with you. Yes, indeed. So thank you. Like I said, this is episode 12. This episode is called Tending Your Garden. Tending your garden, Father. Yes, there is a verse in the Bible about this. You got to look it up. But hey, I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to take you to church. But yes, I am, because I'm going to do it in a real world way. So let's get started. But I want to remind you on my website, warrenwpattenjr.com, I have some merch. And I would appreciate it if you would go and just check it out and see what you can find in my merch department. I have some squeezy toys. You see a couple of them up here at the top right here. Yeah, right about there. I have hearts and brains because I believe we need to combine the heart and brain with every decision that we make. Many times we're just using the brain. Stop, do this, do that, do. We need to bring in the heart so that we can lighten up a little bit and bring a little bit of love. Yes, we do. So I'd appreciate it if you would join there, and I will mail them to you. This is going to come straight to me, and I will mail it out. Yes, I got a little post office right here. All right. Tending your garden. Father, will you provide your garden with nourishment, shelter, safety, and care? Your garden will give the same back to you if you provide those things for your garden. Now, understand, I'm using the word garden as a metaphor. Very good. And you can follow along, of course, in my book, Father Knowts, Being a Better Father on Purpose, on page 21. It's Father Knowts number 9, page 21. So there are many gardens that a father is responsible for. So, Father, you have to tend your garden. You got to make sure it's healthy, that you can grow some things in that garden. That's wonderful. But understand there's some things that want to be in your garden that don't mean your garden any good. You tend the garden of your family. That's one garden. Like I said, it's a metaphor. Your relationships, that's another garden. Your life, that's another garden. There's so many, but I just really want to focus on the family. And with the family, with this, you must tend your garden, tend your family, tend and increase your spiritual well-being with your family. You can't lose that spirit, because that's what's going to keep you strong, hold you up while you tend your family. You have to protect your family, just like you would protect your garden from weeds. There are some weeds that are going to grow, some bugs, some diseases, the weather. You as the father are responsible for protecting your family from all of those things. And some of those things come in the form of humans. Oh, yes. And I'm going to specifically on this podcast, this episode, talk about protecting your family from your family. You got to be really brave. You got to have the courage to keep some of the family members that may be trouble. You got to keep them out of your garden. away from your family. Some family members may be welcome in your home, in your garden. They may be welcome. But remember, when they are able to come in, set the boundaries and the guidelines up front. Don't allow people to visit your home and you already know you may not like some things that they may have done in the past. Don't let them show you what they can do. Warn them ahead of time. Warn them ahead of time that this is not allowed in your home, in your garden. You have to be that way. Oh no, they're going to be very upset with you. I understand. So it's your home. Provide your home. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because many times, many of us grow up with family members who are allowed to come in and act the way they want to act, do the things that they want to do. And mother and father, sometimes mother, allow them to do what they want to do. And all we say is, you know how auntie so and so is. No, that's your uncle so and so. That's my crazy brother. You know how none of that needs to be in your home if you see fit. Now it's up to you if you want to let them in. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't set the boundaries and the guidelines up front, they will create the boundaries and guidelines for you in your home slash garden. And you cannot allow that. My recommendation to you is to have a clear conversation with your wife or partner about the toxic family members and their toxic behaviors. Ooh, Father Patten, that is strong language. Yes, it is. But I have to be strong. I want you to listen to me. But first of all, let me give you the definition of toxic: unpleasant, very harmful, in a persuasive way. No, pervasive way. Also persuasive, but in a pervasive way. Poisonous. See, all of those things are unwanted in a home where you want to grow your garden effectively. And your garden, what's in your garden? Your children, your wife, your spouse, your partner. Yes, that's what you're protecting. And if you allow bugs, diseases, toxic behavior in your family, they're going to ruin your family. And sometimes when you let it get in, it's hard to get it out. So that's why I say up front, have the discussion, brave discussion with what's allowed in your home. And that's a tough discussion for you and your wife, but it must be done. She may have a different mindset about who can come over. That's my mama. That's my sister. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I understand that. But let me know what to prepare for. And even she can't tell you all of the surprises that will happen. You also have to be as honest about your family. Oh, yes. You have to be as honest about the members of your family. I'll give you a little bit more. You know, I'm going to unwrap this as we go. So let's talk about setting boundaries on how long they stay. So you have to ask them, we're coming to visit you guys. You know, we're going to come and say hello. The first question, how long are you going to stay? Next question, where are you going to stay? How many people are you bringing with you? They may not want to answer those questions. Get ready. You got to ask them again. Make the decision, please. Are you going to stay with us? Or are you going to get you a hotel? Or are you going to stay with another family member? How long are you going to be here? 2 days, 3 days? If they say we're going to be there 4 days, that's too long. Need you here just 2 days. How come we can't? Let's not have that discussion. You don't have to come. I know I make it seem simple, but you got to start the conversation up front. Let them be mad while they're on the phone. Don't let them allow to come to your home and then get mad and create a scene. Do you understand? Sometimes we wait for the drama to get here. No, 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 no. Stop the drama before it gets there. Ask those questions. Yes. Be mad all you want to while you at home. And you're gonna make some tough decisions. You coming? 2 days. Don't come here at 4. How many people are coming? You need to know so that you can prepare for that many people. Be aware, they might surprise you. Well, we thought so and so would come. So it went from 5 to 7. Now, what are you going to do? Think about it. Don't get mad. Learn from every situation. Take notes. You might let those 7 people come in. You can accommodate them. You and your wife can accommodate them. The next time, you might have to say, don't bring but 5 people. The other 2 that you're going to sneak up and bring, make sure they have some place to stay. Can't stay here. I'll say again, be prepared, Father. Be prepared to navigate those uncomfortable situations. Be prepared to navigate. How are you going to get through? And also, when the family gets upset, your wife might get upset too. Got to be able to navigate that. Navigate it. Yes, you do. Have those discussions when you can. You might have to pull the wife to the bedroom. Let's step out for a second. Let's discuss and come to a compromise, some kind of way. But let her know you're taking notes. Don't ever say I told you so. Oh, no, no, no. I've never said that. They're going to say to you, I know you just want to say I told you so. No, 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 no. I just want to let you know I'm taking notes. And the next time will be different. So let me give you an example of my situation where I had to set boundaries. My wife and I, we started having our children, grandchildren for my parents. I'm going to talk about my family. I'm not going to talk about her family. Hey, we'll talk about my family. So it's story time. Now, in our home, not just my home, remember, in our home, we agreed that there would be no smoking and no profanity. Oh, I know you're shaking your head right now. Yes. I've been practicing no profanity for most of my life. There's a reason. And I say in one of my previous episodes when that was. I was probably 8 years old when I said my last bad word. But my mother could really curse. She knows I talk about her because she don't curse now. She might curse to her other friends, but she don't curse around me. But I said a long time ago, there will be no cursing in my home. When I get my own home and start my family, no cursing. So I had to tell my mother, I'm not going to bring our sons over to visit you because you still using bad words. Those are my grandchildren. I want to say, I understand, mother. But you can't be cursing around my children. She was upset and we did not visit. But I had to give her time to work on that. I understand. I'm asking a lot from my mother. But this is nothing new. My mother knew about this years ago. When I was a little boy, I was asking her to stop using profanity. So it's nothing new. If nothing else, I'm consistent. I am who I am. All right, that's my mother. And now we said no profanity. But we didn't have a problem. I mean, no problem. That was my mother, profanity. My apologies. So now we're going to go to no smoking. My father was a smoker. And I said, no, father, I can't allow you to come and smoke in my home. He was willing to come on over. He was not upset. But I understand that he was a smoker. And after smokers have their meal, they're ready to fire it up. so what I did to accommodate my father, you can come on over. And we would walk all the way to the very end of the backyard. And I would allow him one cigarette. That's it. And he was like, thank you, son. But father, I wish you would really stop. And he did. So that part was not a big problem. We worked together. Now it became a problem when one of our sons noticed his cigarettes in his pocket. And my son went over to my wife and said, Granddaddy's doing drugs. Oh, out of the mouths of children. Oh my goodness. So we had to explain. We had to explain to him. Yes, very observant. They have listened to the messages that my wife and I have shared with them, and they know that was not something that we allowed. Luckily for us, my father kicked the habit long time ago. He kicked the habit. So we did not have that problem anymore. So, it's a win, win, win for everybody when we invited my father over. Then it came down to my mother coming over. She called me. She said, Warren, baby. She used to call me baby. That's in another episode too. Son. She calls me son now. Baby, okay. I want to come see my grandchildren. I'm not going to use any profanity. I said, thank you, mother. I appreciate it. That's all I ask. It's not that difficult. So we invite her over, and she was doing great. She wasn't as talkative because she was on guard. I said, well, Mama, loosen up. It's okay. She let one little word slip out. She thought she was gonna get kicked out. Get your bags and get your tail out of nasty. No, I did not. It's my mother. I said, Mother, hey, we're gonna let that one go. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate you trying. You get a chance to hug and kiss your grandchildren, but I'd appreciate it if you continue to do that. And it was okay. Even it got to the point where she would babysit, not the first two, the last three. She babysat for a little while because we trusted that she would do that she would not use profanity around them. Your influence, Father, goes a lot further than you even think. It's all about your approach. It's all about how you present it to the people around you. You can't be on 10. You can't be high and mighty, but you have to be consistent with what you do. Now, I know smokers, fathers, if you're a smoker, you probably allow smokers in your home. That's okay. I'm not saying that you should not do that. I'm just talking to you about specifically setting the boundaries and the guidelines in your home for what you and your wife have agreed to. Don't allow outsiders to come in and shake up the foundation that you are trying to create. And that is also spiritually. I don't preach a lot, but I know that's a part of getting them to believe and having faith in what they really believe in. It it goes a little bit further. I believe in God. I believe in what I believe in because it really works. I hope that my sons will be healthier, happier, less emotional because of the decisions my wife and I made in protecting them, protecting your garden, supplying those guidelines that will help protect them in the long run. They know that their grandmother used to curse, but they don't know her as that person. I told them about her. They don't know her as that person who used to curse because she doesn't do it anymore. I hardly ever hear anything from her. And also my father, no cursing. I didn't even bring up drinking because he stopped drinking before he stopped smoking. But that smoking, yeah, not a problem. And I did tell him about what his oldest grandson said. Granddaddy doing drugs. I think that was an eye opener for him as well. So he kicked the habit. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for everyone, but if you address it up front, that sets the stage for what your expectations are, what your value system is all about when raising a family. I have we have 5 young men. I want to give them the best opportunity possible. A mother and father who do not use profanity, a mother and father who do not smoke, a mother and father who do not drink. They are set up for success. Now, as grown men, they might make some different decisions. That's okay. They're grown, they can do that. But they did not learn that from me if they choose to do it. I am guilt free as a father. I've done the best that I can do when it comes to protecting my family from some of the things that I grew up with that I did not like. And my stepfather also was a smoker and a drinker. That's why I don't drink. I have 2 fathers who smoke and drank. Why would I drink? Why would I smoke? I made the decision way back then. It's called discipline, self discipline. N- The last word when I was 8 years old, and no more cursing from me. And everybody's expecting, Warren, you gonna say something? No, I don't practice it. I don't need it. I have to come up with some new words. Don't you worry. I got some great new words to put into place of some of those. Eventually, those went away. So, Father, your garden is your garden. Think of it as your family. Are you protecting it from the outside forces that could really mess it up? And some of the phrases that I offer you from Father Notes, they are clear and evident in every episode, even this one. One of them, make the choice to use your voice. That's what this is all about. Start the conversation up front. Make the choice to use your voice. I got another one for you. Father, set the tone in your home. I love that one. Set the tone in your home. You have to make sure that everybody is aware, no secrets. Everybody is aware of what's going to be happening in your home. No surprises. There may be some surprises, but you put yourself in a better place when you have made the discussion and you have set the tone in your home, especially when it comes to your children. They already know, oh, no, 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 that's not going to be happening in my home. My father will not allow that. My mother will not allow that. So those things really help. And then there's one more. Father, you have to shake the trees of tradition. You have to change things around. You can't raise your family how you were raised. It's got to be a different way. So you have to shake the trees of tradition. What was being done, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that it was right or wrong. It was just their way. They had their reasons. You have some different reasons because the world has evolved. So you should be ready to shake the trees of tradition and not do just the same old thing. You heard about that. It's insanity. Shake it up. That's why I do what I do. And I think fathers have a tremendous role in shaking the trees of tradition because sometimes we can let tradition handicap us. Mm, tradition can handicap us into being what other people think we should be. Don't let it. So, Father, I'll ask you, this is a tough one now. Did you find your home for your family, or did you let your spouse find the home? Think about it. I think the father has to find the home and welcome the spouse in the home. Set the boundaries, create your values all together. Mhm. Are you, father, living in someone else's home? What? You can't be an effective father and live in someone else's home because you don't set the boundaries. Someone else is setting the boundaries for you. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. Did you make your home, your garden, safe by creating boundaries and guidelines? That brings in safety, protection. It does. Everybody knows what time to be in the house. Everybody knows when the light comes on. Everybody knows what time we get up in the morning. There's no discussion. There's no, I don't feel like, I never heard that. Everyone knew this is what we're planning to do. And in the morning, be prepared. We're going to rock and roll because everyone has a responsibility. You have to really do that in order for your family to be tight. You know what I say? Create the strong family unit. Oh, yes, indeed. So, Father, I'll leave you this advice: do not give up your leadership role. No, no, no. Do not give up your leadership role when it comes to being a father. Oh boy, that's a good one. But there's going to be more. I'm going to hit on a couple of other gardens that I mentioned earlier. This one was about your home, your family. The next one I might talk to you about is your relationship. Your relationship, or maybe even your life. And there's probably more. But this was just to start about talking about tending your garden, tending your garden. And that garden may be your family. Protect it at all cost. But you have to start up front and have the discussions. And you got to be ready to navigate some of the emotions that are going to crop up in the middle of those discussions. And you might have to put a pause on it. So let's come back when the emotions come down, because we can't get anywhere on 10. We have to have our discussions on below 5. Yes, we do. Join me there if you would, please. So thank you once again. If you think this information is wonderful and can be shared with a friend, family member, please do. Like, share, and subscribe. Of course, it is going to be released on YouTube, my YouTube channel at Warren W. Patten Jr. Also, I will release it on Facebook, and I am looking forward to soon put it out there as an audio. Yes, as an audio podcast. I'm working on that right now, behind the scenes, working on it so I can get it out there on some other platforms. So thank you so much for joining for Tending Your Garden, episode 12, the Father Notes podcast. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks. Take care. Thanks for joining the Father Notes podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Warren W. Patten Jr. That's Patten Jr. Follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Father, make the choice to use your voice